All three Star Trek movies directed by Leonard Nimoy or William Shatner, ranked worst to best. Few things in Star Trek fandom ignite debate faster than the movies. While the franchise's theatrical ventures range from cult classics to cinematic misfires, three in particular stand out, not just for their stories, but because they were helmed by the franchise's most iconic actors, Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner. Between Nimoy's measured, thoughtful touch and Shatner's flamboyant, ego-driven vision, these films occupy a unique place in Trek history. Let's rank them from worst to best. 3. Star Trek V. The Final Frontier, directed by William Shatner, 1989. No ranking of actor-directed Star Trek films can ignore The Final Frontier, and unfortunately, it lands at the bottom. Shatner's directorial debut is as infamous as it is ambitious, attempting to tackle some of the franchise's biggest existential questions: God, the meaning of life, and the human desire for adventure, all while keeping the Enterprise crew in tow. A problem? Execution. The story stretches credulity, the pacing lags, and the visual effects, even by late 80s standards, feel cheap. Shatner's tendency toward melodrama and self-indulgence sometimes overshadows the ensemble cast, leaving fans wondering if Kirk's ego extends behind the camera as well as on screen. Yet, The Final Frontier isn't without charm. There's a quirky humor in Chekhov and Scotty's antics, a rare glimpse at Spock's spiritual side, and, of course, the audaciousness of boldly trying to depict God on a big screen. It's messy, it's flawed, and it's painfully overambitious. But for some fans, that very audacity makes it unforgettable. 2. Star Trek 3. The Search for Spock, directed by Leonard Nimoy, 1984. Leonard Nimoy's first directorial outing, The Search for Spock, is a study in restraint compared to Shatner's theatrics. Picking up immediately after the shocking events of the Wrath of Khan, the movie follows the Enterprise crew as they attempt a daring rescue mission to recover Spock's body and spirit from the planet Genesis. Nimoy's direction balances action with emotional depth, giving the film a sense of gravitas that elevates it above the average Star Trek movie. The camaraderie among the crew feels genuine, the stakes feel real, and Nimoy's intimate understanding of Spock and his relationships allows for moments of quiet, character-driven storytelling amidst the chaos. While the plot can feel a bit convoluted and the pacing uneven, The Search for Spock succeeds because it captures the heart of what makes Star Trek compelling: loyalty, sacrifice, and the complex interplay between logic and emotion. It's a heartfelt, imperfect bridge between the high drama of the Wrath of Khan and the spectacle of later films. 1. Star Trek 4. The Voyage Home, directed by Leonard Nimoy, 1986. Topping the list is The Voyage Home, a rare example of a Star Trek film that manages to be both entertaining and deeply meaningful. Nimoy's sophomore effort is a tonal masterclass, blending comedy, environmental commentary, and science fiction adventure in a way that few Star Trek movies have managed before or since. Where The Final Frontier falters in its self-importance, The Voyage Home shines in its accessibility. The film's plot, traveling back in time to save Earth's humpback whales to communicate with an alien probe, is delightfully absurd, yet Nimoy treats it with sincerity, making the stakes feel real. The crew's personalities play off each other perfectly. Kirk's bravado, Spock's logic, McCoy's grumbling, and Scotty's engineering wizardry all feel organic, while the addition of slapstick humor and fish-out-of-water comedy in 20th century San Francisco adds genuine warmth. Nimoy's direction ensures the story never feels weighed down by moralizing, instead letting the environmental message emerge naturally. The film also showcases Nimoy's skill in balancing spectacle with character, culminating in moments that are simultaneously funny, poignant, and triumphant. It's the rare Star Trek movie that works on every level: technically proficient, emotionally resonant, and endlessly rewatchable. Closing thoughts. Ranking films directed by the actors who helped make Star Trek legendary isn't just about storytelling. It's about understanding the strengths and eccentricities of the directors themselves. Shatner's The Final Frontier is a fascinating, flawed experiment in ego-driven filmmaking. Nimoy's The Search for Spock proves that he can handle action and emotion with equal skill. And The Voyage Home remains a shining example of what Star Trek can do when humor, heart, and spectacle align. In the end, these three films remind us that Star Trek isn't just about starships and aliens. It's about the people who inhabit the universe, both on screen and behind the camera. Nimoy and Shatner didn't just act in Star Trek. They shaped its cinematic destiny, for better or worse. And while opinions may vary, one thing is certain: these movies, warts and all, are an essential part of the franchise's legacy. If you want, I can also create a fun visual ranking chart showing all 3 movies with key highlights for each. It'd make the article pop even more. Do you want me to do that?